The Reds haven't started off 2025 particularly well. In today's video, we are going to be discussing why Liverpool fans are fuming, the major talking points from our defeat to Spurs, all whilst going over all of the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video, but first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Firstly, though Liverpool forward Lewis Kumas is reportedly wanted by multiple promotion-chasing championship clubs in the January transfer window. The 19-year-old was sent out on loan to Stoke last summer, with the Reds seeing a temporary exit as best for his development in 2024-25. Kumas has impressed for the championship side, scoring 3 times in the league and starting 19 out of a possible 26 matches in the competition. According to Simon Jones of the Daily Mail, the Liverpool forward is drawing enquiries from Sheffield United and West Brom, but a loan move to another championship club would make little sense given he is already contracted to stay at Stoke until the end of the season. It is claimed that the pair have been keeping a close eye on Kumas' form this season, no doubt being impressed with what they've seen. The Blades are long-term admirers of the teenager, while West Brom are looking at him as a forward who could give them an extra edge, along with Watford. Kumas only signed a new long-term deal with Liverpool last August, suggesting that they see him as a part of their future, but it will be intriguing to see if this interest in him changes that. It will be difficult for him to break into Arne Slot's plans next season, considering the wealth of options the Dutchman has in the Welshman's preferred attacking areas of the pitch. Liverpool need to weigh up if another season out on loan in 2025-26 makes sense, or if cashing in on Kumas permanently is the best decision for all parties. It's worth stressing that Stoke are unstable currently, and recently sacked manager Steven Schumacher could have ties to the player's father, Jason, playing a part in him joining the Potters in the first place. The attacker isn't playing in his strongest left-sided or central role too, invariably being deployed on the right instead, so cutting his loan spell short may appeal to him. The fact that Kumas only recently extended his stay at Anfield puts the Reds in a strong bargaining position, so they wouldn't be risking losing him on the cheap. The 5-cap Wales international scored in his only Liverpool appearance to date, in the 3-0 win at home to Southampton in the FA Cup 5th round last season, so there could still be belief that he can make the grade. Liverpool fans were left fuming with referee Stuart Atwell's decision not to red card eventual match winner in Lucas Bergvall in their 1-0 loss to Tottenham. Once again, the Reds came away from Tottenham frustrated with a lack of competent refereeing, this time after Atwell failed to give midfielder Bergvall a second yellow card for a reckless foul on Kostas Tsimikas. Bergvall had already been booked for softer challenge, but should have been cautioned for his second, with there a sense that the official looked to even things out by avoiding a red card. The fact is, he should have been sent off, Virgil van Dijk said post-match. There's a linesman there, there's a fourth official, there's VAR, there's a referee, and he doesn't get a second yellow. That was the mood among supporters too, though many who took to X and Facebook to talk about it. Neil said, not only is he not sent off for the second yellow, but Tsimikas isn't on the pitch because of the rule that you can't stay on if there isn't a foul and you need treatment. Terrible. Sam said, Bergvall literally should have been sent off for a late tackle on Tsimikas, and scores afterwards. Stuart Atwell has given Tottenham the win. Chris said, Stuart Atwell should explain wrongly not sending Bergvall off over the PA system. His first card wasn't a yellow, but you can't just not give a blatant yellow red later on to make up for it. This user said, if Stuart Atwell was a footballer, he'd be Charlie Adam. Useless, inept at the one thing he's meant to be at least competent at. This user said, robbed at this stadium again, haha. In this next part of the video, we will go over the 5 major talking points from the game. It was a rare Liverpool loss in controversial circumstances, but there's chance to recover at Anfield in a month after Tottenham struck late for a 1-0 win. 1. Lucky Lucas, unlucky Liverpool. There's a lot of talk about luck at the top level of English football at the moment. Arsenal's XG one week, another team's injuries the next. There are no end of excuses as to why other teams haven't been as good as Liverpool so far this season. On this occasion, however, Liverpool will feel they were the unlucky ones as a player who perhaps shouldn't have been on the pitch scored the only goal of the game to give Spurs the advantage from the first leg. A foul from Lucas Bergvall on Kostas Tsimikas looked like the most obvious yellow card you'll see, but the referee Stuart Atwell didn't give it. Only then you remember Bergvall was already on a yellow and should have been sent off. Bergvall went on to score after some great play from former Red Dominic Solanke up against a still rusty Ibrahima Konate, and thoughts immediately turned to the yellow card that wasn't, and also the fact Tsimikas was still off the pitch. The commentators mentioned it, and Arne Slot's assistant was booked for his protests on the touchline. If Spurs have been unlucky this season, especially with the number of injuries they've suffered, they certainly got some luck here, and it's now all to play for in the second leg at Anfield. Van Dijk world class even in defeat. It wasn't one of the most high profile or memorable games, but Van Dijk was once again quietly excellent, not just in the heart of defence, but in the heart of the Liverpool team. From winning headers to organising the back line with multiple personnel changes around him, he's one of the best defenders and captains the club have had. Spurs would have scored immediately after an error for Alisson were it not for a vital block from the Dutchman. Though he can look slower at times, when he does go into sprint mode, he can still keep up with some of the quickest players, showing as much in one moment up against Brennan Johnson in the second half. Before the game, one of the Spurs mascots shouted to Van Dijk, "Come to Tottenham, we haven't got any good defenders at the moment," no doubt echoing the thoughts of many who simply appreciate a world-class defender. 3 subs livened things up. Slot's slight rotation meant he had a number of potentially game-changing options on the bench. Darwin Núñez had a couple of good chances from a nice ball played through from Salah, but the angle was against him. Trent Alexander-Arnold nearly scored from a typically technical strike, but the ball was cleared off the line by Radu Dragusin. Slot said recently that he is happy with his squad, and games like this show why he says that. The defeat wasn't down to any lack of quality players on the pitch. Unless someone is sold, there is no urgent need for reinforcements, though if there is a chance to improve the squad, the club should always take it. 4. Endo, back at the back. As is tradition, Liverpool have a defensive midfielder who doubles up as a centre-back in an emergency. Slot has repeatedly said he doesn't want Konate to play more minutes in a week, having played the full game against Man United shortly after his return from injury. So when Jarell Quansah picked up an injury midway through the first half, it was Wataru Endo who came off the bench to play alongside Van Dijk rather than Konate. Endo is deceptively good at centre-back, perhaps no surprise given he played the position regularly during his time in Japan. He's better in the air than his slightly sub-6 foot height would suggest, and naturally good at reading the game. Endo might have been disappointed not to start this cup game in midfield, but he showed his value to the team, making some good interventions and offering a good outlet in the build-up. An ideal 5th choice centre-back. 5-second leg some way off. The next cup game comes in just 3 days' time, but that one is against Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup 3rd round. The second leg of this semi-final is some way off, almost a month away, so there might have to be some reminders of the score from this forgettable game come February. The Accrington game will give Slot a chance to rotate again and get all of his squad match sharp before the return of Premier League games. There's a difficult trip to Nottingham Forest on the cards when the league returns next week, and they are the only team to have defeated Slot in the league so far. Everything from this match through Saturday and next week will have half an eye on that trip to the City Ground in less than a week's time. That brings us to the end of today's video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily Liverpool content. Thank you.